Good morning, everybody. I'm so excited. It's Thanksgiving Eve. This is Dr. Lacey of drlacey.com. And good morning to you. I am so proud of you that you would take this time this morning to invest in you. Welcome to the Empowerment Climb. Another week for us to go from process to practice. Another week for us to grow together as we continue to move to the glow of becoming better leaders. I'm so excited that you're here today because I have exciting tips to be able to share with you that you can literally use today from the classroom to the boardroom. So let me ask you a question. As people are starting to come in, please chime in below. Let me know exactly where you're from. Are you traveling this morning? Are you on your way to grandma's house for Thanksgiving? It's going to be an awesome weekend ahead. And as you're doing that, I'm also curious, if you're on my Crowdcast site, I have posted a question down below for you. How have things been coming with your gratitude? Have you been able to express more gratitude this week? If so, keep it going. And if not, there's no time like the present to get started. So let's recap. What is process to practice exactly? As a reminder, process includes your action or steps to get there. It's where you're trying to literally figure it out. And there's nothing wrong with process. We just can't all stay there. So we move to practice. Practice literally means the application of an idea, belief, or method. And we all want to move towards application. That's our end goal, but not just simply application, but application that connects to the research. What does the research say about the specific topic or action that we're moving towards? So on today, I'm really excited to be able to share with you how to grow from the 3 leadership benefits of self-reflection. Gratitude and self-reflection actually go hand in hand. And as we start to close out the year of 2017, there's nothing like taking the moment to pause and start to reflect on the year before. So let's jump right in from process to practice. Grab your stilettos and let's go. So as leaders, we evaluate and we coach those around us just about every single day. People may send you a quick email. They might pop into your office or your cubicle to ask you a question. They're trying to figure it out. But the question becomes, do we apply that same measure of advice or same measure of coaching to ourselves? That's where self-reflection comes in. Self-reflection actually allows for an increased awareness of problematic performance traits. But more so, it gives us capacity to start to develop solutions. And as leaders, we want to ensure that we're being proactive and not solely reactive, and that we are bringing those solutions to the table. Even in my case, as an executive director, I still have a board that I report to. So it's not enough for me just to bring the problem to them or to bring the concern to them or the issue to them, but I also want to come with a pocket full of suggestions. Why? Because that's showing that I am moving in a state of self-reflection and being a more effective leader. So in short, it simply means to look inwards before attempting to impact outward. And so, as you know, I always tell you, sometimes the enemy is actually inner me. And so by taking the time to stop, pause, and reflect and give yourself a chance to look inwardly, it'll help with your relationships outwardly more so. The use of self-reflection increases leadership effectiveness, and it can be completed in 3 steps. So, what are those 3 steps? Step number 1 is integrity. At drlacey.com, it is actually the foundation and of values of everything that we do every single day. We must have integrity. As leaders, there is nothing different, and we must also have integrity. Why? Because our integrity will be tested. It may be something as simple as, I came in at 1:05, but I'm supposed to report at 1 o'clock, but no one will ever know. I'll just write 1 o'clock on my timesheet. No, we want to operate from a place of integrity, regardless as to how small it may seem, because it's the little foxes that spoil the vineyard. We have to think about integrity because when that integrity is tested, it's our opportunity to compare the decisions we've made with the actions that we've taken. And the question we have to ask ourselves is, do they align with our core values? If our decisions aren't aligning with our core values, it's a chance for us to pause, stop, and reflect as we continue to move in solidifying our core values and use those things to assist us in the decision-making process. Why do we do that? Simply because we want to be able to connect. We want to be able to connect ourselves with our core values. That's why it's so important for integrity to remain the foundation of our leadership benefits of self-reflection. Remember, when you apply integrity, it also allows us to increase our own expectations of our team. I can't expect to hold somebody else accountable if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, right? Step number 2, and as a reminder, we're talking about the 3 leadership benefits of self-reflection and how to grow using them. Step number 2 is confidence. Well, confidence is always key. It's actually a phrase or a saying I've seen that says confidence is sexy or confidence is sassy. But regardless, confidence is key. Confidence looks good on you. It actually helps us to communicate our decision making and influences our building of relationships with those around us. When you walk into a room and you feel confident, you might have just had your hair done, you have a great outfit on, regardless as to what the situation may be, you just walk a little differently. You interact with people differently because you're coming from a place of confidence. Well, the more you reflect, the more confident you'll become. So that's yet another benefit to applying reflection into each and everything that you're doing, but especially as a leader. So the foundation of reflective practices is actually rooted in emotional intelligence. So when it comes to emotional intelligence, some of you may have heard that term before, but not exactly clear what does that mean exactly. Or someone may say, I'm operating using my emotional intelligence. Well, EI, as it's called for short, actually uses 2 pathways of application. The first pathway is self-awareness, and the second pathway is self-regulation. This foundation of emotional intelligence really helps us to build in our self-reflection. Self-awareness is the ability to simply understand. Oh, yes, I've got that. It's understanding your emotions, your strengths, your weaknesses, your drives, your values, your goals. It's all of those things coupled together. And as leaders, it's allowing us to recognize the impact on someone else's leadership or how someone else is leading you because you are practicing self-awareness. The other pathway for emotional intelligence, which again is foundational, it's the root system of self-reflection, is self-regulation. Self-regulation is the ability to control. It's the capacity to redirect your emotions. It's when you don't exactly say what you want to say because you're practicing self-regulation. It's monitoring those impulses and adapting to the changing circumstances around you. And as a leader, self-regulation simply means you're recognizing the impact of your own leadership on those around you. And it's important that we recognize the impact that we're making on the next person. So what does the research say? Well, according to Harvard Business Review, reflection actually gives the brain an opportunity to pause amidst the chaos, to untangle and sort through our observations, everything that's around us, and our experiences. So this is our, exchanges with other people that we might come across in the workforce. It gives us an opportunity to consider multiple possibilities and interpretations and create meaning. Wow. So this is what the research says. Again, it all goes back to those neurotransmitters and how our brain is wired. In addition, this meaning becomes learning. So whatever we're understanding and interpreting, it winds up becoming learning for us, which informs our future mindsets and actions. So from a leadership perspective, when we think about reflection, for leaders, it's helping us to also make meaning. And when we make meaning in process to ongoing growth and development, we form and move towards practice. There we go, from process to practice. So what could you do today from the classroom to the boardroom to be able to apply self-reflection? Well, according to the Kellogg Foundation, in about 15 minutes, you can start and move in self-reflection. Now, 15 minutes seems like a bit much for you to start with. Start with just one reflection question. Once you complete a meeting, once you complete an interaction with a family member, self-reflection can be used across the board. Consider these self-examination questions to help you get started. Question number 1, what did I say I was going to do today? And what did I actually do today? So one thing you might say to yourself, I said I was going to go to the gym today. Did I go to the gym today? Yes. If I didn't go to the gym today, what can I do as a reset? Not to beat yourself up, but as a reset for the next day. Here's another set of questions to consider. And again, these are self-examination questions to help you get started. What am I proud of on today? And what am I not proud of on today? I'm proud that I cooked my family dinner today. Or, ooh, I wound up feeding them something that wasn't as healthy as I was hoping for, right? And if you ever feel like you're having a Groundhog Day, a Groundhog Day, where it's the same experience over and over again, but you would get a chance to make a difference the next time that experience comes around. What if you had a do-over? What exactly would you do differently? So for example, I had that meeting with my staff person. It didn't quite go the way I'd hoped it would go. I was a little too heated in my voice. I wasn't as specific as I was. I not only gave a compliment, but I coupled it with correction, and then it's not a true compliment. What could I do differently? The same thing goes for that as well. Again, these are just simple, basic questions from the Kellogg Foundation to help you get started, but our goal is always to move into a state of self-reflection to practice every day. And just like gratitude, we could add it to a journal, or we could take the time to pause and simply run these questions through our mind with the goal of using and being able to reapply for the next day. So again, as a quick recap, how to grow from the 3 leadership benefits of self-reflection. Self-reflection is completed in 3 steps. Step number 1 is using integrity. It must remain our foundation. Step number 2 is confidence. Knowing that you're operating from the place of confidence gives others more confidence in you. Step number 3 is emotional intelligence. The root of self-reflection, it has 2 pathways of self-awareness and self-regulation. So, what is our point to practice? The point to practice today comes from Peter Drucker. Peter Drucker is actually an Austrian-born American management consultant, educator, and author. And Mr. Drucker says, follow effective action with quiet reflection. From the quiet reflection will come even more effective action. Wow. And isn't that our goal today? We want to be more and more effective through reflection. I think today is a good day to get started on reflection. How about you? And if you know someone else who needs an opportunity for a good day to get started, to go from process to practice, invite them to follow and to join me on the Empowerment Climb. You can also find me on social media. Like, share, and encourage another woman to grab her stilettos. And let's go together. Next week, I'm super excited to be able to share with you, start asking. What do you think that's going to be? Follow me for the rest of this week with additional tips and techniques of 2-minute influence that you can use from the classroom to the boardroom as related to self-reflection. I think you're really going to be encouraged by it. I hope you and your family have a great Thanksgiving. From process to practice, grab your stilettos and let's go.